I do record these sessions for several reasons. I tend to talk very quickly, and so I cover a lot of material in a relatively short amount of time, but I do know that I talk too fast. So I record these sessions not only for you to review later, but also for the students who were not able to make it for whatever reason, whether it's a technical issue or whatever. And as much as possible, while you're doing the work for today, after this session, I will upload the video to YouTube. It takes me about 25, 30 minutes now, getting it down to a science, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. And once again, this is being recorded. This is third period. So when you go into Google Classroom, pretty much everything you need to know is going to be in several places. It's going to be in Google Classroom. I'm also going to post it on my web page, and I'll explain that in a couple of minutes. But so when you come into Google Classroom, there's what's called a stream. Oh, and somebody put a dinosaur. Very cool. Oh, wait, Mr. Wing, my computer is disconnected. I don't know how to fix that from here. Sorry, Lucky, but we'll figure it out. I'll see if I can make a call later and see if I can help you walk through that process. So let's see. So the stream pretty much posts everything that happens in my classroom. The classwork it's always going to have the Zoom meeting at the top. Our Zoom meetings will always be from 10 o'clock to 10:50. During that time, I will give you permission when I'm finished speaking to log off of Zoom, but just know that I will be open, or for this classroom, I'll be available from 10 to 10:50 every single weekday. And then from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I have a separate Zoom meeting. Notice that there's a different password here. This will not change, even though, as it says here, or as it says here somewhere, it actually shows that the Zoom meeting was on September 11th. But don't be concerned about that. I'm going to keep this the same unless I start getting Zoom bombed. And if y'all don't know what Zoom bombed in, we will figure that out. And I have two people trying to log in and they cannot. Most of the time, this issue for people not able to log in, and I don't want to embarrass them, so I'll go away from that screen. Most of the time, it's because you're trying to use the application, and for some reason, San Diego Unified School District has a more difficult technical issue with using the application. So when at all possible, use Google Chrome and make sure that you're using your student ID and password, and you don't have any other accounts like a personal account. Make sure that they're not active. You'll notice sometimes when I'm showing this that I've got multiple accounts in here. This is one of my freelance project accounts, and this is one of my personal accounts that I use for a variety of things. So if you're logged into more than one at a time in Google Chrome, it's a good idea to log off of those accounts and actually delete them, and then use one of your other browsers for your personal stuff. If you have siblings that also use the computer, the same computer you're using, like if you're using it with your parents or brothers and sisters, whatever, cousins, aunts, uncles, whoever happens to live with you, try to reserve Google Chrome for school stuff, and then use either Firefox or Internet Explorer, or this is actually called Microsoft Edge now because they went away with Internet Explorer. Okay, so enough of that stuff. So Classwork. Office hours. I've already talked about office hours. Week in review. This was from last week in this class. Daily doodles. This is a new feature that I just started this morning. If you go to Classwork and scroll down to Daily Doodles, there's instructions here. This is how I would like you to fold your Daily Doodle page. There's a 3-minute video on showing you how to do it. You'll notice that I don't have a ruler right now because I misplaced it. So instead, I just used a magazine as a straight edge to draw the lines on my Daily Doodle page. And I'll be talking more about that at a later date, tomorrow or going on this week. But basically, this shows you how to fold the paper. We're only going to draw on one side initially, and that will be explained in a video tomorrow. But basically, we're going to use the back side to trace it against the window so that we can have a more finished drawing on one side of the paper. Sea Monster is the Daily Doodle for today. It's a 5-minute video. It shows you how to draw it and ink it. You'll note that when you're drawing it, I'm going to ask you not to erase your pencil lines. The very simple reason that I ask you not to erase your pencil lines is, just like when you're in a math class and your teacher asks to see how you solve the problem, the same thing is in drawing and doodling. I want to be able to see how you constructed your drawing, and this video, this 5-minute video today, shows you how to do that. Excuse me. Again, we're going to be drawing on the back side of the paper, but we're going to use the back side for a more finished looking drawing. So, daily procedure: when you come in, if you get an opportunity to, go ahead and watch the Daily Doodle video or any other video that I've introduced prior to class, or at least during class. Draw the Daily Doodle, and then further down on the stream from last week, there's other videos that show, excuse me, show you, for instance, how to, okay, there's a Zoom meeting. Okay, so this one, adding pages and slides to your Google site. This one shows you how to take pictures of your artwork and upload it to your Google Drive. I'll probably have to do a video on Google Drive because there's a specific way that I want you to set up your folders, but for now, just save it to your Google Drive. Make sure that when you're saving work to your Google Drive, that you're logged in with your student ID and password through sandy.net. That has been an issue in the past, and I think it's probably what's happening with all the Zoom meetings where people can't get into the meeting because they're signed in with their personal ID and password. So one of the very first things I showed you 2 weeks ago was Zoom meetings, nope, was how to create a Google site, probably in Classwork. There you go, create and share your Google site. So this is in the Classwork tab. You click here and open the assignment. This 4-minute video shows you how to create a Google site and share it. And then you're going to use this form to share your Google site. So what you will hear me say at the end of every Zoom meeting is, if you understand the instructions from today and every day on doing the Daily Doodle, excuse me, and you don't have any questions, you have my permission to log off of this. As long as you've said hello in here, so that I can take roll, you have my permission to sign off of the Zoom meeting. But you just have to know that I will be available for this class period from 10 o'clock in the morning to 10 minutes until 11, and then again from, as soon as I can get to it, then again from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. I will try very hard not to ever embarrass you, so if you don't want to have your face on the Zoom meetings, which I don't know what happened to my Zoom meeting thing, but there it is. So if you don't want to have your face in here, that's fine. If you want to have your video camera on, that's also fine. That's entirely your choice. So for now, for today and every day, as long as you've gone into the chat room and said hello, you have permission to log off of this And again, I'll be here. This Zoom meeting will be open until 10 minutes until 11 to ask any questions, or you can just hang. So if there are no more questions, I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm also going to somehow stop recording. Here we go.